Now, LeBron James, like I said, best basketball player in the world. He is. You're talking about a guy that's 6'8", 6'8" and a half, 260, 270, whatever he is. I've called him this before. He's the Frankenstein of the NBA. He's a lot of NBA greats mixed into one. You're talking about a man that can, to me, from baseline to baseline, from basket to basket, without the ball and sometimes with the ball. Without the ball, definitely. No one gets up the floor faster than LeBron. Nobody does. Okay? No one in the NBA does. If you see Dwayne Wade get a steal or something like that, watch LeBron James run the wing when he wants the outlet pass. Watch him. I mean, this guy is he's like Usain Bolt or something. Not saying he's fast as Usain Bolt, but I'm saying he is as fast as lightning. Okay? This guy is the best basketball player in the world. Now, with all that being said, I still do not like the decision he made. I still think he went to the wrong team when he chose the Miami Heat, even if he wins the championship, even if he wins the NBA championship, and I'm going to tell you why. You ever heard the term, damned if you do, damned if you don't? As great as LeBron James is playing, even if they go and sweep Dallas, of course, at the end of the day, you won a championship. But to me, it's how you got it. I love Gary Payton as a player. I do, He couldn't get it done in Seattle. He couldn't get it done with the Lakers, but then he went to Miami. He's got a ring. He's happy about that. But to me, it would have meant more, in my opinion, for Gary Payton. I'm not comparing Gary Payton to LeBron James, but I'm just giving you an example. Because Gary Payton was a great player when he was playing. He was the best player on his team, him and Sean Kemp. He basically played a lesser role, and I know LeBron is the best player on Miami. Like I said, I'm not comparing these two. But at the end of his career, he got a ring. Now, to me, it would have meant more if he would have got it when he was the main man on his team. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. This is not his team, folks. This is Dwayne Wade's team. LeBron James is the best player on Dwayne Wade's team. I'm not backing down from when I say he copped out when he went to the Miami Heat. Now, if he wins the championship, this is what people are going to say. This is what I mean by the damned if you do, damned if you don't. If LeBron James wins the championship, they're going to say, well, dang, LeBron, you couldn't get it done in Cleveland as the leader, as the focal point, even though he didn't have a lot of help. I know they won 60-plus games in 2 years, but in the end of the day, in the playoffs, your weaknesses and strengths are exposed. And LeBron James can't play basketball offensively and defensively for everybody. He didn't have enough help, period. During the regular season, yes, just like Derrick Rose did with the Bulls. But your weaknesses get exposed in the playoffs, in a 7-game series, 2 weeks against one team. Now, if he wins a championship, they're going to say, well, you didn't get it done with Cleveland. You ran down there with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and now you got a championship. Well, dang, LeBron, of course you're going to win. Of course you got Dwayne and Chris Bosh and 3 of the best players in the NBA with you involved included. Of course you're going to win. That's not an accomplishment. Big deal. But then if he doesn't win, like I said, damn if he does, damn if he doesn't. If he doesn't win, guess what people are going to say? Oh, man, you got Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh on your team. You left Cleveland. You couldn't get it done. You went to the NBA Finals. You beat Chicago, beat Boston, and you lost to the chokers, to the Dallas. That's what people are going to say. And you lost. So either way, he's going to be damn if you do, damn if you don't, in my opinion. A lot of people are going to say that because, believe it or not, and this is why I say this, and a lot of people know this, LeBron James is a very hated man. It is not because he's not a good person, because LeBron James is a good person. That's why I liked him. He is a great young man. He's got a great personality. He's a very likable guy. He's kind of corny and quirky sometimes, but he's a likable young man. He can be arrogant and stuff like that. But the reason why people hate him, folks, is because of what he did with the decision. That's it. That's why they hate him. It ain't because he's a choke artist or nothing like that, or he's not a great player. It's iffy if he quit in Game 5 against the Boston Celtics last year. In the second round, that's up for debate. And what he did with the decision, people don't like it, And then on top of that, the next day he goes down there and does a parade like he won a 3-on-3 championship. Now all the difficulties they went through this season, they're in the NBA Finals. Okay, and like I said, he's damned if he doesn't, damned if he does. Period. And that's why I say he chose the wrong team. Now, if he went to the Chicago Bulls, even if he did the decision thing, people still would have hated him. Don't get me wrong. They still would have hated him, but not to this level because he went to another man's team. That is Dwayne Wade's team. That's not Dade County. That's Wade County. Nothing LeBron James can do right now, great as he is, great as he's playing, can take away what Dwayne Wade did his first 7 years. Period. LeBron James can't do anything about that. Now, let's talk about Dirk Nowitzki and LeBron James real quick. Now, the NBA Finals, to me, this is the second best matchup that I wanted to see. Miami versus Dallas. I rather would have seen Miami versus Lakers, but it didn't happen. So let's talk about Dallas and Miami. Folks, this is no disrespect to Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, or anything else. But this series is all about Dirk Nowitzki and LeBron James. Let me tell you guys something. We are going to have a big hero and we're going to have a big zero. Somebody is going to be on top of the mountain, and then somebody is going to be at the bottom of the mountain. I mean, somebody's going to have a great summer, and somebody's going to have a long summer. And I'm talking in particular for these two young men. You got Dirk Nowitzki in his 13th season. He's 32 years old. He's known as a great regular season player. Had his moments in the playoffs where he's done well, but when the big moments count, he couldn't get it done. You know, the year they were supposed to win the championship in 06, when they're up 0-2, then they're up by by 13 points with, you know, half the quarter left in the game. They lost that, and then they went on to lose the next 3. He choked in, according to the media and a lot of people. Then in 07, I believe it was 66 wins or something crazy, 60-something wins, number 1 seed, lost to the AC Golden State, and they beat them pretty good too. And after that, you know, disappointment after disappointment. But those two are the major marks on him. Now he faces the team, ironically, that he lost in the 06 finals. And I'm telling you right now, if Dirk Nowitzki does not get this done, you know, because nobody's going to blame Chandler or even though Jason Terry lost in 06 too, he's not going to get the blame. Rick Carlisle's not going to get the blame because he wasn't there. All these other players, Jason Kidd, he's never won a championship. He's older anyways in overtime in his career. It's all on Dirk. If he loses this series, especially after he swept the Lakers, beat Oklahoma City in convincing fashion, has been as focused and as well as he's been playing. If he doesn't win this championship, man, he's going to have a long summer. And you're talking about a guy that's going to be damn near on suicide watch. My goodness. And he knows his career is getting is being later in his career. And then he's going to face, and then if he loses series, he has to face the Lakers again. That's going to be revamped. Lakers are going to be revamped next year, man. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to get something in the offseason, even though they got Mike Brown, and I'll talk about that in another video. He's going to have to deal with the Lakers. And so this may be his last great opportunity. This is a great opportunity to win it. And if he doesn't win it, man, he's going to take a lot of flack for that. Now let's talk about LeBron James. For all the reasons I said before, the decision, not getting it done in Cleveland, the damn if he doesn't thing, here's the bottom line. He is the best basketball player in the world. Scottie Pippen has made a comment saying that he could, and the key word is could, because I listened to that thing about 5 times. He could be better than Michael Jordan. He say he will be, and I'll get into that in a second. Better than Michael Jordan. With all that stuff going on, Scottie Pippen saying that before the final start, him shutting down Derrick Rose, being the best player in the series. He was the best player in the series, in the Boston series as well, even though Dwayne Wade was leading scorer. LeBron James was the best player in the series, best player in the world. All those things. Got the monkey off his back by beating the Boston Celtics. He beat the Sixers in convincing fashion. All those things. They beat the Eastern Conference Finals. Proved that he was the real MVP when he shut down, turned Derrick Rose's water off as the MVP. He showed that he was the MVP of the playoffs and the Eastern Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference period in the playoffs. If he doesn't win a championship this year after doing all that, he is going to look like a failure. He's going to be a failure because this is the big moments. Even though Eastern Conference Finals are cool, he's already done that. He's been there. And it was so ironic when I talked about Dirk after he celebrated the championship and left. LeBron James during that ceremony when Alonzo Mourning gave out the trophy, LeBron James was in the back. He was standing in the back like a regular guy. He didn't say anything. He was just talking a little bit to his teammates. Wasn't hardly celebrating. He was just chilling like he was a regular guy. And I like that. I really did like that about LeBron James. He wasn't front and center. You know, Dwayne Wade was off to the side. I liked what Dwayne Wade had to say because, you know, Ernie Johnson interviewed him. Didn't talk about his injuries. Didn't make an excuse. I like that. They didn't even ask LeBron to come up there and talk, even though he was the MVP of the playoffs, MVP of the Eastern Conference. They didn't ask him to come up there. LeBron James just sat back like he was like he was Eric Dampier or something, and I like that. But at the end of the day, if this man does not win an NBA championship, he is going to be a failure again. He's going to fail, and he's going to have a long summer, despite the fact that he's not even in his prime yet. To me, he's not in his prime. Almost there. He's got a lot of years with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. If he does not get it done after doing all this stuff in the playoffs, in the regular season, in the summer, and what happened in Game 5, he is going to be a failure because people want that man to fail, period.